Greetings and welcome to Ellingson Motorcars here in Rogers, Minnesota. Today we're going to tell you a little story behind a screaming chicken, which we just got in. Talk to you in a minute. Greetings from Ellingson Motorcars here in Rogers, Minnesota. Today we're going to talk about a car that almost everybody recognizes from the movies, of course, and that being Smokey and the Bandit with Burt Reynolds. The Trans-ams of this vintage are considerably sought after by everyone today because of that movie and because of the fact that they don't make Pontiacs anymore, so it has become a much more collectible car just in and of itself because of that. Right here we have the black car, which of course was very reminiscent of the ones that were in the movies that Burt Reynolds was a star of. This happens to be a 6.6 liter engine one, which in the day and age, that's about as big a motor as you could get in 1978. Interesting car in the fact that it does have all correct stuff in terms of all the spoilers, the gold trim, all that interesting stuff. You can even see the yellow tinting in the windshield, which basically tells you this car probably was built in the California plant. Usually the yellow tinted windshields are kind of a clue to that little trick. Again, it's a very nice original engine compartment, as you can see from our cold startup. No one has messed with it. You know, a lot of these cars, unfortunately, have been kind of changed around over the years. People put on headers and they put different carburetors, whatever. This one has not had any of that stuff done to it, so it is the way it came from the factory in 1978. We do have some of the original paperwork as well with this car, which is really nice to have, you know, because of the value in terms of the collectible nature of the car. As I mentioned, it's got the radial TAs with the snowflake wheels, which are correct with the gold color on the inserts. This one actually even has on the interior, if you take a look, it's got a gold steering wheel. It's got the gold things on the steering wheel, so that's reminiscent of some of these cars from 1978. The neat thing also, this car is a 4-speed car, which in this day and age, a lot of them were more automatics, but a lot of them did the ones like the Smokey and the Bandit, of course, they like to have the 4-speed ones, which is really kind of much more enjoyable for us motorhead guys and like a little more of that performance. It's got the Hurst Shifter with the white knob on it and whatnot, so kind of fun. They also had, like I said, a lot of the extras. It's got air conditioning. It's got the AM, FM radio, I do believe. Yes, it does. And tilt steering. The nice bucket seat, black vinyl bucket seat interior was pretty much a standard for most of the Trans-ams of this period, but this one happens to be in really, really nice condition. We believe the miles to be original on this car. And like I said, we do have some of that original paperwork as well. But it's one of those T-top cars too that, you know, if you need that open look, it's not quite a convertible, but a T-top is kind of a nice thing to do on a nice sunny day. Take those off. We do even have the original bags that these T-tops came in the trunk as well. Also in the trunk, it does have the Space Saver spare, which nowadays with new cars, we don't even get spare tires. Well, they were trying to even do this back then, at least make the tire a little smaller, so it took up a little less room in the trunk because that trunk space is a little limited, but you can still get a couple of sets of golf clubs in there, I'm sure. Again, like I said, it's got the gold trim all the way around, the rear and front spoilers, the wheel well spoilers as well. Dual exhaust, of course, would be standard on any of these things. And of course, the big Trans-am emblem right on the back of the rear spoiler tells you what you're dealing with. So if you're looking for one of those collectible nature Pontiacs and you want to relive some of the movies that were dear to all of us in our hearts on the old performance world, and Smokey and the Bandit being one of them, you could have it right in your own garage. Currently, it's at Ellingson Motorcars here in Rogers, Minnesota. You can look at it in person if you'd like to come Monday through Saturday from 10 until 5. We'd love to have you take a look at it. If that doesn't work for you, you can find it on Facebook, YouTube, or Instagram as well. Or you can go to my website. We have a website called EllingsonMotorcars.com that has close to 100 vehicles, everything from cars such as this to resto mod cars, street rods, bone stalkers, you name it, we've got it, and new stuff is coming in all the time. So if you're looking for a new ride for the spring, what better time to give us a call or come and take a look right here at Ellingson Motorcars in Rogers.